Well, Knicks fans, a disaster in game one. Not exactly what we wanted, what you wanted to see in game one. You've had now, about what, 10 hours to digest what is one of the great collapses and one of the great comebacks in NBA playoff history. I mean, and one of the great single performances in NBA history. I mean, Nesmith scored, he couldn't miss. He had 7 threes in the last 2 minutes of the game. They came back from down 14 points with 2 and change left. A very odd game. The Knicks blew the lead up to as much as 17 when Brunson was on the bench with foul trouble, which is another thing we got to discuss. But one of the all-time great performances from Nesmith, who was just unconscious. I mean, he was hitting shots from everywhere this side of half court. And the game was over with 2.5 minutes left. You thought it was over. There was, the crowd, the building, the Knicks, I think, even thought it was over. And it's not like the Knicks just went cold and didn't score any points. So is it a collapse? It's sort of a collapse, but I think it's more of the Pacers went and took this game and won it more than the Knicks lost it. The Knicks did help them out. A couple big missed free throws in overtime. Couple big missed free throws down the stretch. And then even when you thought it was lost, like the range of emotions here was crazy because with 2.5 to go, you're up, 14 points, the game's won, right? You think okay, we got game one, we took care of business, we played well. We played well when Brunson was on the bench, which is something that you could really build off of. They got a great game out of Robinson. The bench scored points. You got 35 from Towns, 43 from Brunson. Got this. Game one. Maybe the series isn't going to be as long as everyone's saying. And then just a flurry of threes from Nesmith, the likes of which you've never seen before. He channeled his inner Reggie Miller, but it was even more impressive because it was 7 threes over a 2-minute span rather than 8 points in 9 seconds. And then you went from there, we got this game in the bag, we're winning game one, to Halliburton hitting a 3 at the buzzer to beat you, giving the choke sign until we lost. The game's over. They beat us on a buzzer beater by Halliburton. He has the nerve to throw the choke sign to the crowd, point at Reggie Miller. To the review, okay, we're still alive. We got another chance. His foot was on the line. And then they come out and score the first 2 buckets of overtime, and you're like, oh, okay. Maybe we'll be all right. And then Cat misses a free throw, and Hart misses a free throw, and there's fouls, and it just all comes crashing down again at the end of overtime. The Knicks get the ball. They have a last chance to tie. Brunson misses a shot, and that was it. Pacers steal game one. Knicks get a taste of their own medicine, a historic comeback against the Knicks this time. When in the last series, it was all the Knicks making the historic comebacks. So you got to shake this off. It's just game one. We knew it was going to be a long series. You knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. The Knicks, for about 45 of the 53 minutes of that game, played very well. They withstood a barrage of the Pacers came out in the first quarter, and they didn't miss a shot till there was 5 minutes left in the first quarter. They were just burying threes, hitting everything. The Knicks stayed with them. The defense was, lack of a better term, horrible on both sides. Brunson got in foul trouble, had to sit for crucial minutes in the fourth quarter. But the Knicks during that time blew a lead up from 2 points when Brunson left the game to 17 at one point to 14 when he came back in. So yes, Brunson getting into foul trouble is a big problem. It's a big problem. Last night it wasn't. It was actually, they played better when he was off the floor for those, 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever it was. But Brunson getting into foul trouble is a problem, and his defense is a problem. And we knew the defense was a problem with him all year. Same goes with Towns. I mean, I don't know what you do. I mean, Brunson's a bad defender. They were going after him every time down the floor. The way they figure it is, it's going to be an easy bucket, and if it's not an easy bucket, he's going to get a foul, and that'll cause him to have to come out of the game late in crucial minutes, which it did, and we could take advantage of that. That's clearly what the Pacers are thinking. They're targeting Brunson. They're going right after him on the offensive end, and Brunson's. I don't know how you do it because you could hide Brunson on defense, but then you got Towns, and they're going to do that to Towns. You can't hide 2 out of 5 people on the court. You have to figure out what you're going to do. And then when you got someone like Nesmith coming down and hitting 7 threes, you think maybe after the 4th or the 5th or the 6th that they maybe double team him, deny him the ball, let somebody else beat us. He averages 12 points a game in the regular season. He has just scored 15 on us in the last 90 seconds. Maybe not let him get the ball. Double team him. Do what you got to do. Knicks didn't do any of that either. That's on Thibodeau. So it was just a storm, a perfect storm of all types of things coming together in the fourth quarter. But the things that came together in the fourth quarter manifested earlier in the game, especially like Brunson. Listen, you can't have Brunson get 3-4 fouls in the first half. You can't have Towns get 3-4 fouls in the first half. And you also can't hide these guys. You can't hide 2/5 of your defense. So what the Knicks got to do is, listen, they got to just accept the fact. And I think they do. They've accepted it all year because this is not new. We know Brunson's not a good defender. We know Karl-Anthony Towns is not a good defender. Brunson's undersized. Karl-Anthony Towns has bad footwork. It is what it is. They got to this point with it, right? Stop trying to be this great defensive team. You're not. Regardless of what you did against the Celtics. Because for 82 games during the regular season, they weren't a good defensive team. So stop trying to pretend like you are. Brunson's going to have to just give up a couple easy layups. The Knicks can make up for it on the other end. They do. Look, I mean, you lost a game here at home, up 14 with just under 3 minutes left. A game where Brunson scored 43, Towns had 35. I mean, Bridges had 16. Robinson came on, gave you great minutes, especially in the first half. The Knicks kind of did everything right, except that an all-perfect storm came together in the last couple of minutes. And in overtime, listen, you're going to get the first 4 points of overtime. You got to win. They got they got a call from the governor at 12 o'clock with that foot being on the line, Halliburton. And you'd think they'd use the fact that he threw up the choke sign, pointed at Reggie Miller. And to be honest, and where was Spike Lee too, by the way? Where was TNT's camera crew and producer with the camera? It's got to be on Spike Lee. When he's doing the choke sign, you got it. I mean, I don't know where they were lost with that one. But I mean, it's a shot that hits off the back of the iron, goes straight up in the air about 5 feet, and then just whoosh, right through the hoop. Never happens. Never hits the back iron, goes that high up, and comes right down through. And then he gives the choke symbol. The game's over. You've just lost. Devastating game. And his toe is on the line. And you don't use that as motivation in your own building, even after scoring the first 4 points of overtime. You blow that lead too. So they don't deserve to win this game. That should have been that. I mean, listen, that should have been all the motivation they needed. You got a second chance at life in that overtime to get it to overtime. 4 quick points, you think it's over. And then they just big missed free throw by Cat that would have put him up 4. And that probably would have ended the game. And then they fouled the Knicks up 2 later in the overtime, fouled with about, what was it, like 20 seconds left? A lot of time to be fouling up 2. If you ask me. You're up 2 with 6 seconds or 4 seconds or 8 seconds even, and you want to prevent the 3, I can live with you fouling there. But with like 15 or 20 that was left, you can't. That's too much time. The NBA, that's like 3 possessions. You can't be thinking and worrying about we're going to lose on a 3. You got to just play defense. Now, positive notes, it was only game 1. You knew it was going to be a long series. The Knicks have played better on the road in the playoffs than they have at Madison Square Garden, which, it baffles my mind. But it is what it is. Those are the facts. It's only game 1. You played better on the road. Brunson, 43, 35 from Towns. When Brunson was out, the bench came in and was fantastic. Mitchell Robinson was unbelievable. Had a great game. He was a defensive. He was a rim protector that the Knicks need. They even got points out of Cameron Payne, 6 points in the first half. McBride added 9. The Knicks played 9. The Knicks went 9 deep. The Knicks never go 9 deep. And they got some kind of production out of every one of them. That's a plus. Now, Brunson's sitting on the bench, and the Knicks playing well in that fourth quarter. Yeah, it was a plus last night. That's not the kind of thing that you don't want that happening every night. And it's starting to happen. It's starting to become a big problem with Brunson getting into foul trouble or Towns getting into foul trouble. These are your 2 guys. I say you'd much rather give up a layup than have to sit Brunson for 3 minutes of game time in the fourth quarter because he got into a foul trouble. That's a trade-off I'd be willing to make 10 out of 10 times. And then how about a little emotion when Halliburton throws up the choke sign? How about you get pissed off about it? You can't come out in overtime. I mean, that's a huge letdown for Indiana. They have this huge historic comeback. Halliburton, it's a 3 at the buzzer off the back of the iron. Up 5 feet and in. They celebrate on the court as if the game is over. He throws up a choke sign mocking your franchise. You come out, score the first 2 buckets in overtime, 4-point lead, and you blow it. That's unacceptable. Completely unacceptable at home to blow that game like that. That's the collapse for the Knicks. Not the 14 points in 2 minutes, which is 95% the fact that just Nesmith was in the zone. He could throw it up from wherever he wanted on the court, and it doesn't matter, and it was going to go in. I would have taken him out a little bit. I would have, denied him the ball a little bit. But even after all that, they withstood all that, got it to overtime, and blew another lead. One of the worst losses the Knicks have ever had. And don't sleep on the Pacers in game 2 either. Because you're dead if you go back to Indiana down 0-2. And if you think the Pacers are going to just let off the gas and be like, oh, we're happy 1-1, they're not. They think they could beat you in this building tomorrow night. And you will see the air come out of this city so fast if the Knicks go down 0-2. So fast. They own the city right now. Eastern Conference Finals. First time in a quarter century. There are kids now in graduated college. Knicks fans forever. Never seen anything like this. They lose tomorrow night. The air's going to come right out of this thing so fast. Now, if they lose tomorrow night, I don't think it's completely over. I'm saying it's a must-win just because any series, you can't lose the first two at home. That just defies logic, saying you're going to lose the first two games at home and still be okay. But I do think if they were to lose, there is a path that I could see getting this thing back. And as far as the Pacers are not very good at home either. And as far as being better on the road in this net, I'm still glad the Knicks have Game 7, a possible Game 7, in their back pocket at Madison Square Garden, because that does matter. But the rest of the series, it's going to be a long series. That was a great game last night. Not if you're a defensive guy, obviously you're not thrilled with it. But with Nesmith, he hit 7 threes in 2 minutes. He averages 12 points a game. That was impressive. That's as good as it gets. So Game 2 is tomorrow. Listen, yes, you feel the Knicks trail in the series now for the first time. Yes, it's not going to be easy. You got to pick yourself up off the mat because that was as bad a loss as it was. You got to forget about it. Just tomorrow's the new series, Game 1. It's not the NCAA tournament. You're not dead. Series don't get decided in Game 1. But momentum is squarely with the Indiana Pacers. And they're going to come out tomorrow looking to chop the legs out from underneath the Knicks and go up 2-0 and head home to a raucous building in their city and finish this thing. Win tomorrow, you're right back in it. You just got to steal one in Indiana, and I think the Knicks will absolutely win a game on the road in this series. So you'd be okay. But you got to clean it up. Brunson last night played 38 minutes. That means he sat for 10. That means he sat for 15 minutes. And he scored 43 points. And you lost. Can't have that. Towns, 39 minutes. He sat for 14 minutes, scored 35 points. And you lost. Can't have that either. Don't know what you do with the defensive end because it's hard. Like I said, you can't hide two out of 5 guys on defense, and you have 2 of your best players stink on defense. And that's a problem. Might not have been a big problem last series because the Celtics aren't playing the kind of offense. They're just coming down, shooting threes. This is a team that's going to go to the hole. They're going to go to the rim. They're going to get you into foul trouble. It's going to be physical. And if Brunson and Towns get in trouble with fouls early, you're going to have to sit them in crucial minutes in the fourth quarter, and it's going to end up biting you in the ass. It's just the way it is. Pacers take Game 1, 138-135. Game 2 tomorrow, Madison Square Garden, TNT, 8 o'clock. Knicks got to have it. They got to have it. They got to just pick yourself up, pretend like this never happened, get back to work, and don't let these guys don't let a single player destroy you in 2 minutes of the game. We're not talking about Michael Jordan here. We're talking about Aaron Nesmith. It's not LeBron James. It's Aaron Nesmith. 7 threes, 24 points in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Come on, Knicks. Got to be better than that. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. Hit it if you don't like what you hear. You can hear more of it. Don't forget, you can always find us anywhere you get your podcast. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on our website, lockedupsports.net, lockedupsports.net. Knicks lose Game 1, Game 2 tomorrow, everybody. From the Brian Gunzel Studios, I'm Bob Walters. See ya.